Hello everyone, welcome to my new video. Yeah, we're starting a new island, or I guess I've already started it, and I am to the point where I am going to start building it up and decorating it. So yeah, I've been grinding a lot on this one. So there's just been a lot of grinding, a lot of hard mode grinding, and this one grinding. So today we are actually going to be doing the entrance, and I will speed it up throughout the building process because, well, y'all know how it goes. It can be kind of crazy, but I wanted to give a little bit of info about the island and commentate here and there. And yeah, so this island is called Moonlitha, and this is going to be it's so hard to kind of explain it, but if I had to kind of sum it up, I would say like a whimsical, enchanted forest kind of vibe. And I have a little bit of lore for the story, I guess, or the island, I should say. Basically, Moonlitha is a place where fairies and spirits come together and live in harmony. And every year on summer solstice, they get together and they have a grand old party and celebrate summer and all of the fun things. So as you can kind of get where I'm heading here with when I'm gonna set my dream address and things like that. But yeah, I've been really wanting to do some sort of like fairy core, enchanted, whimsical thing. And so I figured I would try this and kind of see what happens. So I am working on a mood board, and yeah, it's a little late since I'm actually building, but I'm gonna make one anyway. And I will hopefully post that in a few days if I haven't already by the time this video comes out. But some of the villagers that'll be on here are going to be kind of your normal fairy core cuties. So Julian, Ione, oh my god, I feel like I'm missing one that I should just like have right off the top of my head, and I don't. Anyway, I'll think of it. But I'm also going to be adding some very kind of like whimsical type villagers that aren't necessarily fairy core, but very like I don't want to say like ethereal, but just they kind of give off that like spirit calming vibe. So I'll have like fauna on here, kind of those ones with like the magical eyes. I don't know if you look at Fauna's picture, and she's got those like really pretty kind of fairy eyes, like the ones that I have on my person. Those are kind of the villagers I'm picking. So once I get the mood board up, I will be posting it, and you can kind of maybe see what I'm talking about. But yeah, so I'm really excited. For this island, I want it to feel very foresty, but also very like luminous and enchanted feeling. So a lot of like those mush items are going to come into play here. A lot of lanterns, which I'm really excited to use, like the smaller lanterns, and you'll see in this build that I'll throw some in there. I do need to change the color on them though, but that's okay. But yeah, a lot of white items, but I will put some pops of color in with the flowers. And yeah, I'm excited to to do this one. It's been something I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I wasn't sure exactly what kind of like enchanted or fairy core I wanted to do, and this just kind of seems like my vibe right now. So for this entrance, I really wanted to tap into the foresty vibe. So the winding type path, some cliffs around it, and I wanted to have a few different path options, because if you forests, you get lots of windy paths and they kind of break off into other paths, and so that's kind of what I wanted to mimic here. So yeah, so I will be, like I said, I will be commentating a little bit through this speed build, I guess, even though it's still an hour long, but it's fine. And just kind of giving input where it's needed. But for now, I will go ahead and let you watch me terraform this cliff. Okay, so for this cliff, I really wanted to bring water elements into this entrance, and I will be putting a lot of water terraforming, I think, on this island. I think it's gonna add a lot to kind of like the spirit of the island. And so I want to try to incorporate really cool waterfalls and water features, which will be pretty new territory for me. I could do pretty basic, but I've seen a lot of really cool like backwards waterfalls and backwards ponds and things like that. And so I really want to kind of play with that on this island, but just for the entrance, because it is a little bit tighter, I definitely want some waterfalls. And just to kind of start the water, I don't know, layout, I suppose, of the island. And so yeah, so that is kind of what I'm doing on this cliff, and we'll continue to work on. So here I am trying to figure out where I wanted this to go, and I do have the river mouth right over there behind Blather's tent. And I thought that it might be really cool to do a diagonal bridge, so I kind of marked it out. I won't put the bridge in right now. That'll be for probably Blather's build when we get there. But you could kind of see I went through and laid out a little bit of that diagonal bridge. But here I have decided to put a few little rivers kind of around so it all connects. And looks like it's just coming in from the main river mouth. So yeah. And I've decided that water terraforming is literally the worst thing on the planet. Like, I'm already not very good at it. Or at least I don't think I'm good at it. But I just feel like I can never get my edges and curves right like other people can. So if y'all are really good at terraforming and you have like tutorial videos or are open to like one-on-one sessions, please hit me up because I could definitely use it. But yeah, water terraforming is fun. All right, so we are just wrapping this river around to connect with this waterfall, just so it all kind of ties together and flows nicely. So I will attempt to make this look as natural as possible and just kind of hope for the best. All right, we're switching to terraforming cliffs. And we're just going to build kind of like a crescent shaped cliff right here. I have an idea, or I came in with an idea for this entrance, and I wanted to make it feel obviously really foresty and kind of enchanted. But I also wanted to kind of tie into the lore of just like the fairies and spirits living together. But there's so many little things that they do around the island, and little like meditation spots or spots where they can really become one with like their island and create that like harmony for themselves. And so for the entrance, I really wanted to kind of tie in that sort of vibe of like really being together and like creating this harmony and like sense of like just like a magical sense of like the island is like a spirit itself, and it's like its own being. So one of the things that I really thought might be cool right here at the entrance is a wishing well, like having a wishing well moment. And so yeah, that's kind of the vibe, and that's what I think we're going to be working with. So I want it to feel very like ancient and very like like it's been there a long time. And so using some of the stone henges and tapping into some of like the ruined items, and just making it feel very old and mystical, and just like a really magical place. Like there's a story here on this island that people need to explore. So yeah, how I have learned to decorate for myself is I throw everything down first, and I think I've seen a lot of people kind of do it this way, but I kind of like throw things down, play around with them until I kind of find what I like, and then I will go through with codes from there. So with this one, I'm specifically trying to map out where I want the wishing well to go, and kind of just trying to get an idea of how it fits in the area. So I will say too, I do have a Pinterest board with I think pretty much every code that I'm going to use, as well as like codes that I've thought about and inspo for the island. So I will make sure to put that in the description below so you can go check them out. Everything that I am using, every code, things like that have been from Pinterest. So yeah, it's like my saving grace, the holy grail of codes and things like that. So yeah, so I will let you kind of watch as I try to map out the area and figure out where I'm putting things and trying to kind of make the thoughts in my head come out on the island. So yeah, I will be back shortly. Okay, so does anybody else get lost in their pockets? Is it just me? I swear, I think I filmed this build for probably 2 to 2.5 hours, and I swear I spent a good 45 minutes literally in my pockets. Like, I just feel like I can't find a thing ever. So, yay. So now I am going to just start kind of working a little bit more right here. And when I built that cliff on the left, I kind of left some space open on the other side. And so I have an idea of what I'm going to do over there. So that is why I'm putting some planks here. I want people to know that they can go that way, but there's going to be another way to get to that part as well. So people can kind of decide how or where they want to go, which direction they want to go in. So yeah, so just playing around with how I want kind of the planks and rocks and things like that to work together. So yeah, so I'm going to start placing pathing and codes down on the ground. And just putting any little elements in that I have in my pockets. And trees. So I did see though that I was watching one of Kaylee's red one color challenge videos, and she has a whole tree farm on her island just for this purpose. And I was like, that's the most genius thing. Like, I don't ask me why I've never thought of it. I just struggle every time for her tree, so it's fine. That'll be something I'll have to think about putting onto this island, so I have lots of trees, which is going to be needed here. So but yeah, so I'm really, really happy with how it's turning out. And so yeah, now it's just to the point where I need to put down codes underneath all of the items. And so clearly some of the like dirt patches, but I want to use a lot of these stones underneath. Went to my flower field on the completely opposite end of my island to grab some flowers and bushes to kind of fill in these little gaps here. Right now these azaleas are in bloom, but they will not be in bloom when my island is set. So I'll just kind of have to deal with it for right now at this moment, but that's okay. But yeah, flowers. I am using a lot of different colors actually, and that's where kind of my pops of color on this island will come from. So a lot of like yellows, oranges, pinks, and whites will be on this island. Not very many purples or blues, but there might be some sprinklings here and there. But I found this palette idea on Pinterest as well, which should be, I think, on my board. If I don't have it on there, I will find the image and pop it on there. So now it is time to place everything back where it was. And I really like this stone code. It feels like it ties into kind of the ruined items, like it's like grass is growing over the stones and things like that. So I think it just looks really, really good. I can never place items in the right place, ever. So the papers, because I'm sure a lot of people are probably looking at that like, Sam, why are there papers by this well? So like I mentioned earlier, I really wanted to tie into the lore of like communicating to the island and the spirits and nature and things like that. And one of the things that I thought of was like writing notes or thoughts or inspirations to the island, and just kind of making this like a shrine type area. So putting the papers there kind of is like putting their well wishes or things like that to the island. So that is why I have that like paper code here, and I'm sure it will be all over the island with some other places that where people can kind of communicate with the island. So here are the lanterns I was talking about earlier. I really like them in green, but I am gonna have to go check out and see what they look like in white, and so that's something I will do off screen, just to kind of see if I like the green or if I feel like the white ties in more. But yeah, I will be using tons of those lanterns throughout the island, which I'm really excited for because I feel like they're not used often or only used in like meadowcore or spring vibes. So I'm excited to kind of use them. I really like that item a lot, so it's pretty exciting. And so now that this is decorated, I'm just going through and adding vines anywhere that I can. And the vines are going to be my best friend on this island, I think. So, yeah. So I'm going to go through and place down a bunch of trees. And these are all full grown, so that's why I'm really spacing them out. Because eventually I will go through and put in seedlings so they can grow in at different heights and I can stunt them whenever I get to that point. All right, so now I'm just kind of going through the pathway, trying to figure out what I'm putting down here, and I just want it to feel very kind of lush and full. And that's pretty much the vibe for the cliffs as well when I get to that point. Just making it feel very, very full, lots of trees and flowers and shrubs, but also a few elements that are in the entrance will be tied onto these as well. So yeah, I really need to make a tree farm. This would make putting trees in builds so much better, easier, faster. Yeah. So up here, just tying into the ruins vibe. Oh, look at Lily. She's so cute. She is staying on the island. She is one of the other ones that are going to be fairy vibes. And so yeah, she's super cute. But yeah, just tying the ruins part of the build into that's kind of down below up on the cliff as well, and just kind of following that same theme here. This cliff gave me the absolute most difficult time ever in the history of cliffs. I had this genius idea to get up here and be like, oh, I can put a like broken pillar up here. And then realized I have no space for a cliff anywhere. And it's like, if I went up there to do that, I would have no way to get down. And then I'd also have no way to do the water scaping all the way around. So like I had it there and then I had it there and I was like, oh, I can't do the water here. And eventually, like, yeah, could I have kicked out the cliff? And yeah, I could have, but I probably spent... I'm just sitting here contemplating life's choices at this point. I couldn't even figure it out. And my poor brain Like, it was having a time, a grand old time. So I'm over here trying to figure out how I can make this work. And, yeah, needless to say, it doesn't work. So, yeah, I'm just gonna sit here and try to figure this out. But, yeah, this was tough. Like, I spent a solid, like, probably 10-15 minutes trying to figure out how I can make this work. So, obviously I gave up. And that's okay. I still really like how this cliff ends up turning out anyway. But yeah, I was having a time up there. I had a vision. Didn't pan out. But you know what? I found another spot for it. It is what it is. All right, so I've time traveled a few days to get the trees kind of grown in, and stunted them where I needed them to be stunted, or at least like the height I wanted them to be stunted at. So, now that the trees are in, I feel like I have a much better idea of where I can put things and how I really want it to look like. So, at this point, I am just trying to finish up this little area first, since it is pretty much done, but there's just a few little things here and there that I want to add, and then I will continue moving on with the kind of the path and the cliffs after this. So, this deer scare is such a cool item, and I feel like it's so underrated. I want one in real life just to sit and listen to. Like, I would totally put it in my bedroom. I am a noise person. Like, I sleep best if I have noise. I was the kid that always went to school. Yes, I did go to school, but went to bed with like the TV on. I would literally put Finding Nemo on every single night. It's one of my favorite movies. Don't come for me. I was a Nemo and Stitch girl, but anyway. So I just like noise. Sign me up. I will go right to sleep, and the deer scare would absolutely put me to sleep in like 3 seconds. So I need one, but those are going to be all over this island, hands down. So with the palette, you can kind of see a lot of my bigger items I'm trying to keep as neutral as possible, and I think that kind of brings that like whimsicalness, and like, actually, the flowers bring the whimsicalness. The white like mush platforms and things like that, I'm hoping kind of bring that like ethereal, magical vibe. And so I'm kind of really excited to play a little bit with like the pops of color with a lot of white items. One of my other favorite items in this game are the bamboo shoot lamps, which I had just placed a couple of them down. But I love the lighting that those bring, and I think it's just going to bring such a really pretty glow to the island. And so it'll be really cool to kind of see what the like brighter mush lamp glow with the bamboo shoot kind of like lower glow or dim glow, what that kind of looks like together, because I do want a lot of different like light sources and focal points around this island. So it'll be really interesting to see how it all comes together. I'm excited. And the Nova lights bringing in again that kind of like softer golden glow. So I decided just to put a flower up here. Wasn't messing around with that anymore. Came to terms that I wasn't going to put the pillar up there, and that's totally okay with me. I was having a time, so but this cliff, probably besides the whole moment up there, one of the easiest cliffs I've ever had to decorate. So I will take that. I will take that. And this is the moment I realize I'm stuck and I just picked my flower. Yes, I called for help. Yes, I'm gonna let you watch me struggle. Do I feel ashamed of myself? Kind of. But what else is this? I'm just a girl, okay? Just trying to figure my life out, okay? I'm like a big picture planner. I am not an in the moment planner. I struggle, okay? But now that the cliff is done, I hopefully will never have to get up there again, and the cliff of nightmares is done. So, all right, just filling in the little gaps here. And I'm really liking the pathway through here, so I'm really excited to continue that on. That'll probably be one of the next builds. I don't know, I say that, but I'm sure it'll be different. Pretty indecisive when it comes to things like this anyway. So yeah, just gonna keep building as much as I can, filling in gaps where I need to put things, so lots of flowers and shrubs down here. And I wanted to incorporate this pond somewhere, and I thought this would be a cute spot to kind of walk by. See the pretty glowing pond. I've never popped so many balloons in my life. And I just let that one go. Don't come for me. Alright, just kind of going through the like final walkthrough just to make sure that I am not missing anything, or if I need to like change things out. So, and just filling in like little gaps here and there with this moss. And for this cliff, I just kind of wanted to make it as like simple as possible, but also still tie in the elements from the build below. So lots of nature, a few ruined items, and just a few things to kind of fill in the areas. Okay. Oh, look at Sherb and Ione. They were so cute. All right. So that cliff is done, and now I pretty much just have this little cliff left, and so I kind of have it all laid out, but now it is just time to fill in the gaps with some codes, shrubs, flowers, moss, etc. Okay. Oh, sure. Look how cute. Yes, a reaction. Shyness. Sure. Oh, he's so cute. Anyway. All right. And so here is the walkthrough. And obviously, this DA will be set at nighttime. So I, of course, had to go check it out and see. So we just have a cute little, seating seat here. Little picture moment with all of the fun things. You have the wishing well. And I just love all the like lights in here. I wasn't sure if it would be too much or not enough. And I think it just gives a good amount of glow to the island. So kind of see it goes up one way, and I like that you can see some lights up on cliffs. And yeah, I don't know, it just came out really, really pretty. I'm excited to keep building on this island and moving on to kind of some of the other things that are happening, but yeah, it's so pretty. I just want to like hang out and walk through this and just be content with life. So this is probably one of the biggest entrances I have done. Usually I don't do anything this big, but like I said, I really, really like how it turned out, and I have a few directions to go to from this. But yeah. So that is it. Welcome to my island of Moonlitha. Thanks for hanging out. Let me know what you think of my entrance. Put a comment below, like the video if you enjoyed, and hearts, thumbs up, all the love in the world. That's it. Thanks guys. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.